So,
Good
good evening,
evening.
everyone. Hello.
Good evening.
Good,
Hello.
good
Hello.
evening.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Anyo.
Yes, yes. Loud and clear.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so we are here again tonight to discuss topics again for our purposive communication.
Mhm.
So, now we are going to talk about Monroe's motivation sequence, which is composed of 8 steps, namely the attention step, the need step, illustration, ramification, etc., etc., which are used to identify certain paragraphs in a article or a uh, text. So we are given a article found on our book. So can you please share the book? Okay, so we uh, we have chosen this topic, the issue of gender, to use it in identifying the 8 steps on Monroe's motivation. So I'll go ahead and I'll start first. I'll try to identify which is the attention step. So to be honest, I personally think the attention step is located on the second paragraph on page 8. It starts with uh, the first sentence. Did you notice the order of the last 3 words of the last sentence? I think this is the attention step because it really captures the attention of the audience. As it was said, did you notice the order of the last 3 words? So it makes the reader curious. What did I miss? Did I miss something? Did I misread something? Which leads the reader back to the first paragraph. So last 3 words pertaining to men and women. So I think that is the attention step. So what about you guys? Do you have any
Pointers.
insight on this?
I have something. So actually I am completely on the same page as you. So since this is an attention step, what I have noticed that it ends with a question, more of a plain sentence. So with the construction of of questions in the paragraph, it gives the readers or the viewers a sense of curiosity, uh, as if the author of this article is asking towards the those who are reading. So uh, in that sense, it gives them, uh, they are more intrigued. They are more intrigued or engaged with the article to read more about it.
Yes, it presents an interactive engagement to the reader. So what about the others?
So I agree with what you both said regarding the attention step.
Mm-hmm.
The second step in Monroe's motivation sequence is the need step. So I
Each step.
classify the sixth paragraph to be a need step, wherein the author stated that another issue that has affected English is employment. Also, he pointed out here that there are words that would classify a man and a woman's work. Do you agree with me?
Yes, I think
Ah,
Yes.
so.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I would also like to add or share that this paragraph, which starts with another social issue that has affected English is employment, can also be classified or identified as the illustration steps because it specifies some instances or it points out the scope of the problem, which is the uh, the number, which is being unfair towards which is being unfair and discriminating the gender of the gender of and the other gender, like in men's work and women's work. Most companies are acknowledging men's work rather than women's work. So that's all for me.
So in addition to what Abby and Ali said, this paragraph can also be classified as pointing step. So pointing step, it emphasizes how to point out the issue of the problem of the audience, which is pertainingly to the men and women. Gender issue can be a big factor on how these men and women affects their discrimination, or how affects the process of making them of making of making them how they treated in the society. So
Mm-hmm.
what do you
Okay.
think, what other steps are included in this topic?
Okay, I agree. So another thing that I personally saw while reading the article is how the author, well, it's actually same with what you guys said. I um I think the illustration step can be found on page 8, the fifth paragraph, which starts with also another social issue that has affected English is employment. So um, why illustration step? Because I personally think it shows this picture on what our society lives in today, just like what Abby said, na men are considered to be more dominant, which shouldn't be. And I think the author just wants to paint a picture on its readers. That's why I think it's the illustration step. For ramification, um, what about you guys? Do you think uh, which of these paragraphs can be considered as the ramification step? Mm, well,
I
to be
actually don't have
honest,
any idea.
okay. Well, since
Can you share it to
ramification,
us?
okay. So ramification actually talks about the use of supporting materials, statistics, testimony, etc. to drive the point home. And I think the ramification, this step is found on page 9, second to the last paragraph. I think it starts with as well. Okay. So as well, the use of they when referring to a singular antecedent has gained almost total acceptance even in professional writing. So I think this is the paragraph that presents ramification because it presented a statistical analysis I think is found on almost total acceptance. So it just presents a number or data that they have accepted the fact. So that's why I think I don't know, it's considered as ramification. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, okay. Thank you for pointing it out, Enzo, because I wasn't able
Okay.
to identify that part.
Yes,
So
thank
Okay,
you.
no
now,
problem.
okay, so for the last paragraph of the article, can you please go up, scroll up? For the last part of the article, which starts with the other creative substitutions include flight attendant instead of stewardess or steward, server rather than waiter or waitress, and police officer instead of policeman and policewoman. This part, well, I identify this part as the satisfaction step because it offers a solution for the sexism problem, for the discrimination problem, as it mm, as it uh, as it change the how we address to both genders without discriminating the other. So that's it.
In
That's
addition to
what I
that,
noticed for this paragraph.
in addition to what Abby said, this paragraph also pertains to the classification of the action step because um, when we talk to other people rather, um, we use generalized terms like chairperson or um, we instead of police woman or policeman, we use police officers. So
Yes.
I think that this paragraph is also classified is can be also classified in the action step.
Okay. I agree with that
Okay.
Mhm.
action step. So Uh, well, guys, I think we missed a step, the visualization step. To be honest,
Oh
while
yeah.
reading the while reading the paragraph, I honestly found nothing pertaining to visualization. So, what about you guys? Were you able to find something?
Um,
No, I wasn't.
yeah, same. I
No.
wasn't.
No.
So, I
Wait,
guess it's
I have
safe
something to
to.
say. Eh, Um,
Close
the
this.
reason why there may be no visualization step is that because um this articles from my standpoint, what this article summarizes is that these are recommendations or solutions. So it does not give us an imagination of what
The
would
future.
happen if we were not able to implement these kinds of solutions. So it's
Okay.
more of
Yes.
a present issue that we need to solve.
Yes, I agree. So I think it's safe to say that visualization can be disregarded for this topic.
Mm-mm.
So I think
Yeah.
does anyone have anything more to add on
No, I
the
think
on Monroe's motivational sequence?
no, I think
Jarrett?
that's all.
None. I think
This
that's
that's
fine. Now that
Okay.
we've shared and covered all Monroe's
Mm-hmm.
motivation sequence,
mm,
can we now discuss our insights in relation to purposive communication?
Yes,
Okay.
What
Just
are its
I'll just stop sharing this.
roles in ethics, gender issue?
okay. Yes, sure.
So I'll start with ethics.
Okay.
In
Ethics.
professional settings, we can observe that companies have codes of conduct that serves as their guiding principles. So this helps them to attain their company's objectives and goals. And if they would go against these principles, this will compromise their reputation. I also think that purposive communication teaches the professionals to be ethical and helps them build trust to those whom they negotiate with.
mm.
So, do any of you have any additional insights regarding ethics?
Oh, I want to share something about ethics. Uh, to summarize or uh, to add, um, ethics. The role of ethics in communication is to help us be aware of what we should respond to other on how or how we should respond to other people. We should uh we should be mm, we should think how are they going to react when we're going to say something like that. So I think it's our responsibility to always include ethical values or ethics when communicating to someone in order for us to have a better communication and understanding of one another. So yeah. Does any of you want to share your insights about ethics, or we should proceed on the gender issue topic?
I think it's no, I think we should proceed to gender issue.
Okay, so who would like to start
Me.
with the gen?
I have an idea. I would like to share one realization on this topic. For me, or I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes use pronouns that do not have any bearings to any gender. For example, like Pat said, sometimes I do not use chairman or chairwoman in my writings or any other words that are alike, and instead I use chairperson and such. Um, Sometimes I also hear from our senators that they use Mr. or Miss, like Mr. Chair or Miss Chair, Mrs. Chair, to address the person that they want to speak to. Um, I think that they are being mindful on the words that they are saying, and by that, they show respect to other people regardless of their gender. That's all.
So, in addition to what Jared said, gender issue is also essential to recollect the uncertainty of word decision and can be deciphered as prejudicial, disparaging, or one-sided, paying little attention to how they are proposed to. So, in composed and oral correspondence, it is critical to be aware on the sex suggestions of conventional terms. Generics are things and pronouns as proposed to be utilized of the two ladies or also man. It's also important not only in a way to be a better person, but also enables you or others to be more knowledgeable of the relevance of purposive communication in the area of gender issues. So in terms of gender issues, it is really important that we must be mindful on how we we treated our speaker or audience because it can be discriminated or it can be harmful if you are not careful. So for the next aspect, what do you think?
For the next aspect, which is language, my idea about the role of purposive communication to our language is how we use it. Based on what I read in the book, um, people, especially in our age, should practice using the correct language because um, it may be offensive to some and it may be inappropriate to those who are older than us or or how we even deliver it to other people and how they perceive it. So the usage of our language should we should be careful in how we use our language because there are other people who could misunderstand and it may leave a different impact um to how they understand it. So that's all. So
Yes,
for the last
Fair point.
aspect,
Fair point.
yes, I agree with that. Let me add just something. Let me add an idea on the
sure.
language part. Uh, to be honest, one would not use hi exclamation point in trying to write an email if given a chance to the president or CEO. Like who would do that? Who would say hi to the who would say hi to the CEO of the company? So yes, just like what Patricia said, a professional should know the correct terms and wordings he or she
Mhm.
should use in trying to communicate with the workplace. So for the last aspect, let's go to law.
Uh, I have something to share with the
Okay.
aspect of law. So my insights about it is more of a technical one. So I think that the significance of purposive communication in law is rather a very crucial one. So for law or for legal careers, we know that law is solely based on paperwork, technical conversations, and professional transactions. So, in one's own profession, we will be filled with various paperwork to exert on, and purposive communication can help us learn legal legal terminologies that will give us the correct way of creating legal documents. Moreover, it's not just all about the efficiency in communication, but it can also be helpful in using the right medium or tools such as memos, letters, emails, or any kind of notes that will be helpful in the workplace. So there are we know for a fact that there are numerous clients uh, that we have to address, such as, for example, there are clients that refuse to refuse to answer questions, or when they are having problems with confidentiality issues. So in this way, purposive communication will help address these issues in a professional and legal manner, and also to avoid miscommunication and misunderstandings between yourself and your clients and your coworkers as well. So
Okay.
that is my take on this work aspect.
So I agree with that. In the world, on the professional world of law and political science, uh, the judge and the jury can have a different understanding on the way how the prosecutor presents his or her statement, which can substantially lead to a certain decision. But let me add just a thought or an idea. In terms of law, rules, and regulation, peace and order, communicating well can either strongly benefit or strongly hurt professionals. An example: a worker of a certain company acts in the opposite of a given law by the company just because it was unclear, maybe a typographical error or a grammatical error. It was just unclear to the worker. This just not presents a punishment to the worker, but also a possible stain or wrinkle on the company's reputation or image. So, in conclusion, both parties receive bad results just because of lack of good communication or the practice of purposive communication. So, I think that covers law. Does anyone do you have anything else to share, guys? I think we have covered all the topics for now. If
Can I
anyone
add
has
some? Can
anything,
I add something
yes,
for law? I included it in my paper that um law can also include ethical values like honesty and
yes,
integrity.
Mm-hmm.
They uses it to have a better communication, have to have a clear communication, especially to the judge and to their client. So yeah, I think that's law is really purposive communication is really important in terms of law. Sorry.
So
So
yes,
we can say that ethics and values may be related to each other.
related to each other. Yes,
yeah,
exactly, exactly. So, anybody else? No. So
I think that's it.
I think we have squeezed out our thoughts and our opinions on the different topics we have discussed for tonight. So I
Mm,
want to thank you guys because this will surely help on my paper on the insights,
Okay.
and I hope uh, the ideas you've shared may help others too. So thank you
thank
and
you.
good night. Bye.
You.
Good night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.
Ano?